In our previous session, we created a footprint from this particular blueprint, Growing Student Success Daily. And the footprint contained 5 questions that were answered with response pads. What I'm going to do now is to take a synchronous activity, and this is a 40-question assessment that the class is taking. This is a multiple choice type assessment. I'm going to activate this blueprint, and I'm going to activate it for the same 6 students, the celebrity roster that we did with the response pads. We used the response pads in our first session there. And what I'm going to do now is use our bubble sheet scanner. We'll use our web camera. This can potentially be virtually any web camera or document camera. And I'm going to activate the web camera. And you can see that it's going to show the built-in camera first. And I'm going to switch now to our web camera. And you can see that the web camera is focused on my tray. There are my students, the same students that we had in the previous roster. And so I'm ready to grade their papers. Now they've bubbled in their answers on their unique bubble sheets, and I'm going to slip the bubble sheet into the tray, and you can see Barbara Bush is the first student's bubble sheet that I scanned. Each bubble sheet has a unique QR code. These bubble sheets are printed from our cloud. So from the class in the cloud, we printed the bubble sheet for Barbara Bush, and Barbara's bubbled in all the answers for the 40 questions. Most of our users, most teachers will laminate these, and the students will use a dry erase marker or a wet erase marker to bubble in their answers. Thus, it's a green solution. We have a large number of teachers that have done this, and so these are reusable. So Barbara Bush is in with her 100. I'm now going to grade the rest of the class by just sliding their bubble sheet in. So there's Troy Aikman. There's Oprah Winfrey. You can see it grades in about a half a second. There's Dirk Nowitzki. And finally, I'll finish up with Ryan Howard. And you can see that Ryan Howard's bubble sheet comes up with a little pink row there, and it's got a little 1 right there. And that indicates that we had a problem with one question. And you can see that question number 6, he double bubbled question number 6 and marked through D. So when I go to the hand to look at his specifics, I can see the specifics for Ryan Howard's test, and I can see, well, it didn't grade 6 because it didn't know which one to grade. That's correct. So I'm going to mark B. That's what he wanted. And he still missed it, but I did get the answer that he had intended into the assessment. So these were asynchronously done. It's an activity that's graded quickly. We can grade 30 of these in basically a minute. And now when I end the session, just like before with the response pads, this data is going to be collected and written to a footprint in the cloud. The footprint that's going to be written is 40 question assessment. That's the name of the blueprint. So when I end the session, it's going to write the footprint. It's going to ask me to confirm first. So it's writing the footprint, and the footprint has been successfully placed into the cloud. So we should be able to go to the footprints, and sure enough, we've now had a footprint added. There's the one that we had with the response pads, the 5 questions. Here's a 40-question assessment now for that same class. Our comprehension was 74 in this particular scenario. So let's go look at the data. We had standards associated with this. There'd be standards. We'll do some standards in just a minute. There's an item analysis. Gosh, we had problems with question number 1. Question number 5 was pretty darn good. And so we've got an item analysis. I can export that. I can look at a student analysis. So Ryan Howard brought up the rear. Josh Hamilton was close. And so we see how our students were dispersed. We can look at the student feedback and see how each student did across the board. Barbara Bush should be all green. We can create a PDF. We can create a PDF for all the students. Variety of options here, and so effectively we've done a very quick 40-question assessment. We printed the bubble sheets from the classes, so we were able to go into the classes, and for this particular roster, Celebrity 6, we can just decide to print a 40-question bubble sheet. So it's that easy. Asynchronous activity. The data goes to the cloud. It could have been a common assessment. We'll talk about common assessments and PLCs in just a minute. But another way to take advantage of this platform.